question is on the moratorium, right?
Yeah.
Should we actually put on the moratorium, right, for the next 6 months, that you can defer the payments? What do you think?
So I didn't catch your question. Is whether we should take or not to take, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. You've probably all seen a lot of articles, WhatsApp messages, and there's that one 7-minute voice message on WhatsApp going around. You've seen Facebook posts and all these sort of things saying you should take or not to take, or like if you take, you got interest rate. Again, the answer is it depends. But let me try and simplify it for you so you can think through it. So if your loan, for example, a car loan, normally what they would have factored in every year of interest already, and then just divide it. So you don't pay any more interest or don't pay any less interest. In that way, then I guess the moratorium it's a no-brainer. Just take it because it's just a gap. Okay. But you must check. Is your loan something whereby they apply interest on your remaining balance that you owe, or is it something that's already fixed and just divide number of months to pay back? So it's like a flat rate loan. So personal loans and hire purchase car loans normally are that flat rate. Home loans are the ones whereby things get a little bit tricky, and they are also the bigger loans. So that's the one whereby the decision matters a bit more. Okay. So there was a discussion about accrued interest versus compounded interest. In this situation, they are more or less not very much different. But basically, one is accrued means you are adding on interest to your what you need to pay, but there's just the interest. There is no interest on the interest, whereas compounding is interest on the interest. But for 6 months, it's actually not a huge difference. So the question then would be whether you should take your moratorium in 6 months is depending on whether the cost to you is worth it or not. What is this cost? So for this 6 months, you are accruing interest, which means you are paying more interest to the bank at the end of the day. So with the standard simulation is, let's say you owe 500,000 to the bank, you have 500,000 loan, your interest rate is about 4%. So your interest roughly about what you would pay over the 6 months, the interest that you would add on to what you need to pay additionally is about 10,000 ringgit. So you must think about, okay, so by taking this moratorium now, you have cost yourself 10,000 ringgit that you can pay over the next how many years. So there are payment plans that you can pay one lump sum when the moratorium ends, or you can pay over the next 30 plus years of your loan tenure, things like this. Doesn't matter, at the end of the day, you have to pay an additional 10,000 ringgit. Okay? So then you need to ask yourself, what are you getting for this 10,000 ringgit? All right? So let's say a person who has who lives in the house that they are getting the moratorium. So it's their home, their residence, no rental. All right? So this 10,000 ringgit, then you have to compare with the non-financial benefits. For example, you have an income cut. You run a business, you have lost some income. So it's difficult to repay your property now. So there's a benefit of having easier cash flow, right? So therefore, the moratorium may make some sense. But if you have no problem paying, right, and no income problem, no income change, everything is all good, and you just want to take the moratorium for fun, then just think about why are you paying this 10,000 ringgit for? I mean, yes, if you repay over 30 years, it's something like 30, 40 ringgit a month extra. No big deal. But why you want to pay? It's like if you buy a coffee or you buy a meal and I say, hey, can you pay me 1 ringgit extra? I mean, it may not be much, but why you want to pay? Right? So in those situations, I would say you probably shouldn't take the moratorium. It gets a little bit more complicated when it comes to the situation whereby, and this probably is more the minority, I find, whereby you want to maximize your returns during this period. So again, so we just take a look at this from the point of view of a cost. Your cost is 10,000.
Yep.
And your loan repayment is about 2,500 thereabouts. So over 6 months, you would have saved your repayment of 15,000. Yeah, 15,000, but it will cost you 10,000. Okay? So if your 15,000, you can somehow roll this into earning another 10,000, then you have broken even. It's like you took a loan of 15,000 and it will cost you 10,000 additional, or it cost you 10,000 to take this loan, this money. So if you can sort of roll that money in an investment, then again, yeah, you makes financial sense lah. And if the investment makes the return faster than you have to pay back that additional 10,000 over the next 10 years, then it makes some sense. But your returns may be very, very small, right? Because 15,000 to earn another 10,000, then you will need to have 66% returns over, I don't know how long you take to take. But if you invest in the correct kind of investment strategies, seeing that the markets are all very, very low now, you may be able to do that in 5 to 10 years. So 5 to 10 years, you break even. After that, everything else all profit already because of this decision you make now. Okay, and of course, there is also the discussion that money now is worth more than money later lah. So you have to pay 10,000 back over the next 30 years, but you have your 15,000 that you save currently. So there's also the cost benefit ratio. So it depends what is worth it to you. Now, if you are getting rental, then is the decision is more in favor of taking the moratorium, as long as you're still getting rental. So let's say it will cost you 10,000. Right, you come back to this. It will cost you 10,000 that you need to pay this interest. But each month you are getting, let's say, a total of 1,000. Let's say $1,000 a month lah. $1,000 a month rental. So 6 months, 6,000 cost you 10,000. So technically, then if you net, it's like you're paying 4,000 for this moratorium. Make sense to you? Okay, so you're paying 4,000 for this moratorium. Then it's very much easier to earn back the money on the for that you've paid, the cost of the moratorium. It's very easy to earn back through investments. So in that way, you can invest to maximize the return, to use it as like a loan of sorts to invest. So in that case, it's easy. It's even easier if your rental over 6 months is more than the cost of the moratorium. In that case, then it's a no-brainer lah. You take the moratorium, it will cost you 10,000. But your rental is comes up to, let's say, 15,000. So you net profit 5,000. So that one just take. All right. So it depends at the end of the day what you are getting for this cost that you pay. So there is a cost. Some posts have said that it is a no-brainer. Take the moratorium, is a complete profit and gain to you. No, there is a cost. It's whether your benefit is higher or lower than that cost. And a lot of it is subjective also. You know, the value of free cash flow, the value of not worrying, being able to sleep during this period and not worry about how you're going to make next month's payment. I think that is something that has to be considered, and it's something that can be very valuable to people.
I think from what we can gather from Ian is that we have to look at the cost and benefit analysis. We have to study what are we trying to achieve, right? What are the costs that we are going to undertake. At the same time, it's not all just about the financial benefit, but sometimes, like what you say, right, you're able to sleep better, not to worry. All these are basically psychological